Hey guys, welcome back to the process. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the $100 collection that I purchased from a seller in Canada. This $100 collection was a very rare set of cards, and I was super excited to be able to find them, and I was even more excited to be able to pick them up for $100. I got 38 cards in total. I'd be very impressed if really any of you knew what these cards were. If you have seen these cards before, let me know down in the comments. Let's go ahead and get into it. The collection I did buy was a set of Dan1 Pokemon Stadium promotional cards. Let's go ahead and switch over. We'll start taking a look at these cards and we'll talk about why I picked them up. Let's take a look at the first set of cards. I'm going to talk about the main reason I picked up this collection. My favorite Pokemon is Articuno, as most of you know, and this was just another card on my list of, Articuno cards that I wanted to pick up. And it just so happens that when I did find these, I did find the whole lot for 38 cards for $100, which in my opinion was such a great deal. I just went ahead and bought the whole lot. As you can see here, it does promote the Pokemon Stadium all the way back from the year 2000. These are from the Dan1 company. They're mostly known for their yogurt and their beverage sales. These were put inside of a set of Dan1 Go yogurt boxes as a promotional theme. There's a total of 40 regular cards similar to these, and there's 8 foil cards also in the set. The 8 foil cards are just non-existent, and if you do have one, they sell for upwards of $300, $400, $500. So I wasn't surprised that in this lot of 38, I didn't have any of those. Just wanted to talk about what these actually were. These are actually what is considered a tip card for the Pokemon Stadium game. It actually lists the skills, which it says here the strongest flying type attack is Articuno, and it just talks about how the move Fly is actually used. It stores energy for one turn and then it hits the opponent the next turn. It shows what the the vulnerability is to this Pokemon. So obviously normal, ice, and psychic are just regular. Fire is super effective against ice. Rock is super effective against flying and ice, so that's double super effective. And then the electric type's super effective against the flying. And it just shows you, how this works. And obviously in Pokemon Stadium, ground type moves did not affect the flying type Pokemon. This just is, like I said, a tip card. It shows you how, best to use this Pokemon. And it's just a really good promotional card. It is in English and in French. As you can see here, and then, scale, Hiblete. It's just a really cool card. It's got a dual language on it. This is number 28 out of 40 specifically. As you can see down here, it's from the year 2000. Let me get that a little bit zoomed in. But these were the main 2 cards that I really wanted to get. It does list the parties that this is used in. It also lists the, Master Ball Poke Cup round 1 at level 50. This is something you can expect to face in the game Pokemon Stadium. One of my favorite cards of all time. Let's take a look at the rest of these. You might be thinking about price on those Articuno specifically. Those are selling for around $10 to $15 a piece, and the average price I paid for them was $2.65 or so. If you divide the $100 by 38 cards, I got multiple copies of this number 63 Abra. Really cool card. Take a little bit of a closer look at this one. I'm a big fan of the Abra, Cadabra, Alakazam lines. As you can see here, it does have the skill Reflect. It reduces damage from physical attacks by half, which is fantastic. Has all the vulnerability charts down here. What's effective to it, what's not effective to it. Ghost, as you can see there, is not effective whatsoever. This is a really cool card. The only moves that were really super effective against psychic types back when Pokemon Stadium was released in 2000 were bug types. So this was, Abra, Cadabra, Alakazam were just really strong Pokemon to use because of their typing. I got 3 of those total in this lot, each averaging about $2.65. If you were to try and pick one of those up as a single, they would cost around $8 to $10. If you're even able to find them, these are super difficult to find. And, it took me a while to even find this fantastic lot. We have 3 Pikachus here that we picked up. This was all part of the same lot. As you can see here, this was the Prime Cup and this was at level 100. Really, really cool. It's got the Thunder Wave skill, an electric type move that causes paralysis. When paralyzed, the victim has a 1 in 4 chance of not being able to attack, which is good to know. You know, I always thought it was just completely random whenever you were paralyzed, when you were immobilized or not. Apparently, it was 25% chance. It seemed like it was more than that, though. It seemed like you would be immobilized every single move. As we see here, we got the vulnerability chart. You know, Pikachu is super vulnerable to ground types and, you know, just regular effective against everything else. This is number 3 out of 40. Each one of these Pikachu cards, if you were to try and buy them just like this in single form, you would be paying around $15 to $20 for each one of these. I was super excited when I got the lot and all of these Pikachus were still sealed and in really good condition, because this is one of the more valuable cards out of the whole bunch. And we got 3 of them, which was great. Going into the next little set here, we have multiples of a lot of these. We have 3 of the Hitmonlees, another really, really cool Kanto region Pokemon, fighting type. In Pokemon Stadium, it was in the Celadon Gym, round 1 at level 50. And the high jump kicks, it lets you know how high jump kick works. If the attack misses, the user receives 1/8 of the amount of damage it would have dealt. So if it would have been a super effective attack, it would have done a whole lot more damage as recoil back to Hitmonlee, which is something I really didn't know back then. This is, you know, a really interesting card. You know, it's a tip card. It's supposed to help you out with the game, and these really would have helped me out when I was, you know, younger and trying to play the game. As you can see here, flying type moves are super effective. Psychic moves are also super effective. Fighting types in Pokemon Stadium were really, really strong. Each one of these is selling for around $8 to $10 if you were to buy it as a single, if you're able to find them. We did get 3 of them at the average cost of $2.65, which is fantastic. Let's see. Some of them came unsealed, which was unfortunate. We actually had 3 that came ripped or unsealed, so I just took them out of the packaging completely. The first one being Snorlax. Snorlax is actually one of the more popular Pokemon from the Kanto region, and I was kind of disappointed that this one came in a ripped package. I just went ahead and took it out, put it inside of this PSA Card Saver 1. I really like this card. This was one of the more expensive cards as well. Even not sealed, it's still selling for around $10 or so. This is a really, really good Pokemon to use from the Kanto region. Takedown is a charging attack. 1/4 of the damage is put back as recoil. Just lets you know how that move works. Fighting type is the vulnerability chart there. This is just a really cool card. You know, these Dan 1 promotional tip cards are just awesome in my opinion. That's kind of interesting. The Gengar on the party list for the person that you face who uses this party, they used Electrode, Snorlax, Zapdos, Alakazam, Golem, and Gengar in their party. They actually misspelled Gengar. They got an E in there instead of an A. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Look, let me see if I can get that zoomed in. Look at that. Genger instead of AR. It's Ginger, which is pretty cool still. Another one that came unsealed was Vaporeon, another really cool Pokemon. Take a look at the back here. Acid armor increases defense temporarily. Do face that in the Celadon Gym. And then Aerodactyl was another one that came unsealed. You face this one in the Cerulean Gym. Shows the HP that it has. Shows its vulnerability chart. Now I'm kind of looking for more errors on these cards, but that's interesting. If you guys have ever seen these cards before, let me know. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever seen these before, or if you actually have any of these yourself. If you have any of these yourself, let me know. When I first discovered these, I didn't even know that they had existed for, you know, almost 20 years before I figured out they existed, which was kind of crazy in my opinion. All right, we got some Mr. Mimes. Number 122 Mr. Mime in the Pokédex. It is number 20 out of 40 in the set. You do face Mr. Mime in the Fuchsia Gym. The team you face is Dugtrio, Cadabra, Cloyster, Gengar, which is spelled correctly. Gengar on that one, which is pretty cool. Mr. Mime is the party that you would face total. And then, you know, the vulnerability chart does have 123 HP. The barrier move instantly forms a barrier between the user and opponent. Defense is temporarily increased. Mr. Mime was never very strong, to be honest. I never used him whenever I played Pokemon Stadium. Did any of you guys use Mr. Mime in Pokemon Stadium? He was pretty weak, honestly. Let's grab the next little set of cards that we picked up. We actually got 3 of these. We got 3 of the Cadabras. As you know, the name Cadabra was taken out of use for years and years and years because of a lawsuit from a magician. He recently recanted his lawsuit and is allowing Pokemon to start reprinting Cadabra again, which is fantastic because Abra, Cadabra, and Alakazam are just awesome. They really are. You fight Cadabra in the Prime Cup, and the team that you would face is Electabuzz, Pikachu, Cadabra, Magmar, Dugong, and Dugtrio. He does have that same Reflect ability, and it's card number 10 out of 40. Really, really cool card. I really, really was excited to see that I got 3 of the Cadabras, 3 of the Pikachus, 3 of the Abras. Really, really cool. Another pretty cool set here. We got the Voltorb and the Electrode, the full evolution line. Taking a look at the Voltorb. Dan 1 Pokemon Stadium. That Pokemon Stadium logo is just so iconic. That's the main draw to these cards for me. And they're sealed promos. I love sealed promo cards. Thunderbolt deals damage and may paralyze opponent. As you can see there, it's in English and in French. The whole card is dual language, which is really, really cool. I don't speak French or anything like that, but it's still cool that it's on the card. Number 14 out of 40 for Voltorb. Swift is a highly accurate move, so it can be counted on to inflict damage every turn. Electrode has 276 HP at level 100, which isn't too much, honestly. It's a really, really cool card. Just taking a look at this one. That's pretty cool. In the game, the self-destruct move that he uses is actually misspelled as well. But that's just in the game. It's not misspelled on the card or anything like that. Always thought that was really cool. We're going to set these over to the side here. Grab the next couple cards. We got Geodude, really cool card. We got Gastly. We got the Horsey. Just go through these a little bit quicker than the other ones. These are just, just pretty cool. They're not super, super cool like the other ones. This Gastly is pretty cool, though. Level 25 in the Petite Cup. HP of 61. Confuse Ray is a sinister flash of light that makes the opponent confused. Really, really cool move. Normal type moves are not effective whatsoever, which is interesting that Ground and Ghost are both super effective along with Psychic. Gengar was probably one of the strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Stadium. He was on my team just about every single time I played. Alright, we got another set of 3 here. We got 3 Kangaskhan's. Kangaskhan is an epic Pokemon you would only be able to find in the Safari Zone and other really hard to, get to places. As you can see here, you would find him in the Viridian Gym. Dizzy Punch is a normal attack, does cause confusion. As you can see there, he does have the stat chart, how he, how good he is. How many hit points he has, defense points, special attack points, speed, and attack. Those charts are super useful. I wish they would do those for every Pokemon. But, Kangaskhan, super, super cool Pokemon. I really enjoyed catching Kangaskhan in Pokemon Go when we were finally able to. For the longest time, we weren't able to even get him. Alright. One of the coolest cards is Mewtwo here, number 150 in the Pokedex. Take a look at the back of the card there. As you can see there, he has no party because he's not used by any of the trainers in the game. You are only able to use him in battle for yourself, I do believe, at the very end of the game when you face Mewtwo by himself. As you can see there, he's level 100 with HP of 415, and his stat chart is maxed. It's crazy, huh? Mewtwo was, the epic, tip of the iceberg, tip of the mountain, top of the mountain, strongest Pokemon you could possibly get back in 2000. Some more of the really cool cards we got. We picked up a couple of Squirtles in this lot. Those are just awesome. Number 7 in the Pokédex. As you can see here, he was in the Petite Cup. He was actually on a juniors team, junior boy team. He had Diglett, Magnemite, Farfetch, Zubat, Charmander, and Squirtle on his team. Really, really cool. As you can see, his stats are not that great, but these are awesome cards. You know, any of the original 3 Kanto starters are just awesome. Let's take a look at some more of the cards we picked up. We got a really cool Diglett. Nothing too crazy with Diglett. All of these are sealed, which is fantastic. We got this really cool Charmander, number 4 in the Pokédex. You would fight him in the Pewter Gym, and the team he would be on would be Voltorb, Weepinbell, Abra, Growlithe, Wartortle, and Charmander. Really cool card. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, obviously some of the most iconic Pokemon. I'm going to put Charmander back here in the last spot we got. Alright, some more of the cards we have to end it off on. We got Eevee. We had a couple of Executes. We had this really nice Poliwag. These are just really cool. Also on Junior's team. And then the last card we have is Raichu. We are going to end it off with the Raichu card. The Seismic Toss is damage dealt equal to your Pokemon's experience level, which is really cool. So if he's level 100, it's doing 100 damage. Really cool looking card. The cheapest price you can find, the majority of these cards, is, you know, between $8 and $10. Some of them are upwards of $20 on just these regular non-holographic versions. In PSA graded form, the least expensive card I found out of any of these was $120. So with like the grading fee of $20 right now, plus the average cost of $2.65, if I were to grade all of these cards and I sold them all for $100, that is a crazy, crazy profit range that we could possibly expect from these really, really unique and rare cards. Obviously, that price would probably come down the more these cards became known, because more and more people would be purchasing and grading them. The biggest reason for the price is mostly because they're just not as well known as most cards, because they were exclusive in Canada, in the French-speaking part of Canada specifically. They did put it in English and in French, which is awesome. Just made it more desirable in my opinion. I really enjoy these cards. I'm going to probably send them in to get graded, but I'm going to send them in to get graded inside of the wrappers, because they seem to be super uncommon, you know, in the sealed form, and there was no graded copies that were still sealed. And as you know, PSA does do the tall boy cases with the you know, the sealed promos on the inside. That would be a lot of fun. I do appreciate you guys checking out this video. Let me guys know what you think about these cards. Do you guys think they're cool? Do you think that I was silly to pay $100 for 38 of these? Are you going to go pick some up? Do you already own these? Let me know down in the comments what you guys have to say. I appreciate your time. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And you have a great night.